feed to the time that she wakes up for her next feed. That way I can kind of figure out her schedule of like when she's hungry. And she's waking up probably about every hour and 45 to 2 hours and 30 at night. And then during the daytime, it'll be like me and Ken are awake, and then we can kind of help each other out then. Right. I came across a lot of videos, like my algorithm is all baby stuff now.
That's awesome.
I reposted this one video that is so relatable. And it's the transfer from arm to bassinet, and like you hold your breath hoping that it'll go a smooth transition and they'll stay asleep. I was like, this is super real.
That's so funny. I'm so glad that's what's in your algorithm now.
Yeah, it's like all baby videos, because Google has been my best friend. Like, I have all the books. I have like the What to Expect When You're Expecting. I read that throughout my pregnancy. And then I have the What to Expect in the First Year. And Ken has his set of books as well. So it's like we're reading the books, and then if we don't know something, like we'll Google it and things like that.
Yes, that's what I had actually been. When I get into conversations, and I really don't much when it comes to the baby, just because I'm protective about her too. Like I'm just like, nope, like we're not talking about the baby. Don't ask about the baby. But one thing I've always said that I was so proud of you with is that you've been preparing for motherhood, like, and I mean, that's what you should do. But, people have their opinions of, oh my God, I'm worried about, like, I've never, like, no one needs to be worried about her. I can promise you that. Anytime I talked to Gypsy, she was always doing something that was for the baby, like preparing for this, preparing for that, preparing for this. And, like, y'all went to, y'all started therapy and, doing that for y'all and for the baby, and then getting that little binder that you put together, preparing yourself for that, if it ever that was to happen, the books, the fact that, and I love that Ken is so supportive, and Ken is
he's
one of the most amazing men I've ever met.
He's been so wonderful and supportive. Like, I really am just blown back, and that just makes me more in love with him, is to like see him with her and how he plays with her and holds her and comforts her, and I've never seen this side of him, and so it's really like it touches my heart just to kind of see that that side to him that is a parent now.
Yeah, I always knew y'all were gonna do great. I never worried. And I always knew that it was gonna, I don't know, like I knew that, I love how Ken, put out, you, him and the baby, like not
there was a lot of debate about that, actually.
Yeah, I love the way he did it. He did it such a classy way. Like, y'all are, no one, because, I think a lot of people expect it, like a tabloid or something to be the first one to put it out. And y'all did it like just normal people,
Well, we had a conversation, and like we kept going back and forth because there was a little bit of miscommunication between him and I after she was born. If we were able to keep it hush hush, not because I wanted to hide anything, but I was like, I want us to actually be happy in this moment and not have to worry about Nina said this or conspiracy said that, or Ivory Rose Grows Wild said that in this room, or
y'all wanted time for that, just y'all.
Yes, we wanted to have a moment to actually be normal ass people and be happy in the moment at the birth of our child. Yeah. So I'm like, to have a few days of just calm peace with nothing being said was the goal. And then he was like, I'm so excited, I would really like to announce. And because I have been in the media for, a year now, or, it's been longer, but hardcore out in the world media, in my mind, announcement like People Magazine or something like that. And so I was like a hardcore no. I was like, no, we're not announcing. We're not Why? Like, our family, our friends know. Why does the world have to know? And so it wasn't until he's like, I just want to post a picture on my Instagram. And I'm like, okay. Like, first of all, which one? Because I don't want to show her, because I was very, protective, and I still am very protective. So I was like, I want to make sure that we agree on the picture. He's like, do you want me to tag you in it? I'm like, no. This is, and essentially, this is what you want to do. It's your Instagram. I'm not going to tell you how to run your Instagram. All I'm going to say is my input on which picture that I think we could both come to an agreement on, to where it's still protecting her, but you can still have your moment to where you can announce as a proud father. And so once we had an understanding about that, then he posted the picture. Me, on the other hand, I'm still not going to post a picture. I don't even post pictures on my private Facebook. So,
Right.
Yeah,
I wouldn't either, because you just never know. And I think that you're doing what is right for you and for y'all. And I think that picture was perfect. And as far as TMZ, like, y'all didn't do an interview. He just made a comment, right?
Right. So, like, TMZ and all those media stuff, like, they follow our social media platforms. So when we post something on our social media, then mainstream media picks up afterwards.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, because I know some people had said, like, they did an interview, and I'm like, no, they didn't.
No.
I was like, that's why it only says Ken said their baby's healthy and they're very happy. And it was,
Yeah, so TMZ did reach out to Ken and wanted a comment. They were going to print the article regardless of
right. This is a
anything.
short and simple comment.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, the baby's healthy, we're happy, all is good, pretty much.
No, y'all did it perfect. Y'all did it the way that no one expected, except for you, the people who know you. Like, we talked about this, like, were you gonna let, a magazine, a tabloid put it out, or you were like, absolutely not. And
No.
a lot of people were expecting that, but I knew you weren't going to.
No, and Christy, she was like, I got offended, but then, like, we had a conversation, because she was like, somebody's going to get it. Realistically, one day when y'all are out and about, somebody's going to get a picture of the baby. And I'm like, she's like, well, you should sell it. That way, if somebody's going to make money off of it, should be you and not some rando. And I got really offended and a little upset with her over it. And I'm like, absolutely not. There is a huge difference between if somebody takes a picture where I'm not even aware, we're at the park. Let's just say we're at the park. Somebody snaps a picture of us walking through the park. I can't control what other people do. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. But I can control what I do, and I make the choice to not exploit my child. So.
Right. And I know at the end of the day, she obviously never meant it that way,
but the way it came out was just
that would have yeah, exactly. That's what the world would have viewed it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, I've seen some people saying, take this. I guarantee you she's going to become a mommy vlogger. And I'm like, she's not.
No, I don't have any interest in that or whatever. I mean, I feel like there's books and everything. There's enough information about parenthood. And children don't come with manuals. So there's nothing that I could put out that could help the next mom, because I'm just as new as anybody else.
Exactly. And one thing that I have tried to stress to people is if we go way back, that's one thing that you've always wanted, was to just be a normal girl, fall in love, have a family. And it was never, I want to be famous, I want people to know me, I want to no, that's not what you wanted. What you wanted since before everything was just what you have now. And I think people will eventually see that you don't have to prove anything to anybody. Of course, you know that. But it will be proven to them. And maybe then they'll see, okay, Gypsy really, she's living the life that she really truly always wanted. This is what she wanted. She didn't want what the public thinks she wanted, the attention, the fame, the spotlight. No, you just kind of stepped into that. And I think that, and that's why I'm so proud of you, though, because if you think of when you almost been out, you've been out of prison for a little bit over a year now. And if you look at where you were and where you are now, you came into the world being kind of what everybody else wanted you to be, like what the public wanted you to be. And then over time, you finally, stepped into who you wanted to be. And that takes a strong person. And it's especially when you're faced with, like, you have the opportunity for fame, but firsthand, it's not all what it's not as glamorous as people think it is.
Right.
And, your first year out of prison came with a lot of challenges because of that fame and being in the spotlight. And I know now, I can tell when I talk to you, you seem so much happier. And this goes to show anyone listening, having so many followers isn't going to be the thing that makes you happy. And I know for Gypsy, her big account isn't what brings her joy. It's being with the person she loves and her family now, that's what brings her joy. It wasn't the 10 million followers that she got,
No, I was actually like, even my messages with the hacker, I was like, I was going to delete it, deactivate it in a couple months anyway. I accepted that if I lost this account, I accepted that, hey, it's gone. And you know what? Good riddance, because the burden of having 9.8, million opinions and eyes on you, it is extremely stressful and it is a burden. And, I keep it open because it's like a lot of family and friends have been like, you can't come across this kind of following, and maybe in the future you can turn it into any kind of page that you want to. If you want to start a vlog about crocheting, you can do that and have all the followers. It's not my life, and it's like I always said, it's not real life. So I accepted it if it was gone for good. I have Ken to thank for helping me get it back.
Awesome.
Because I'm terrible at like tech savvy stuff. I'm not tech savvy. So he was able to help me go through who I need to contact with TikTok, make a troubleshoot ticket or whatever, and let them know my account's been hacked, and he was able to help me get it back. But essentially, I was totally fine with it if it was gone. Now, am I happy I got it back? Just to prove a point that it's not okay for people to behave the way they did whenever it was being hacked, with wanting to buy the account and everything like that, and the haters just absolutely loving it.
Right. How
could you expect to be, preach karma and be like, oh, this is Gypsy's karma? No, it's not. Because guess what? If this account was gone, I would have been happy. I would have been fine with it.
Right. People don't realize. They don't
is the fact that the hacker went live again and again and again, and people were just gifting the account, and they were gifting the hacker, being like a stick it to Gypsy type of thing. And then I get my account back, and all those live gifts goes to me.
Yeah, I did a video about that today.
That's just funny.
Someone was like, she paid the hacker. I'm like, what? She got reimbursed? She got reimbursed her money with live gifts? I was like, what sense does that make?
No, it's just the point that,
it's not okay. And people
it's not okay to act that way. It's just not. I mean,
that was the karma. It came back before Wednesday, which is payday.
Right.
So exactly. I know. That's what I was told. And like, why no one should be gifting. Basically, like, say if you wouldn't have gotten it back, all they're doing is getting scammed out of money. This is a hacker, just like people that were trying to pay him
That's
for
the
that
thing.
account.
They knew this guy was a scammer, and they're still talking